So we both know how important hands-free illumination is. The ability to light up an area with a headlamp means that your hands are now empowered to more effectively accomplish whatever tasks may be in front of them. And that's why we're gonna be exploring 2 budget-friendly headlamps from a company that has 50 years of experience in the lighting industry. The Streamlight Bandit Pro, which has the most unique design of a headlamp I've ever used, and its big brother, the Streamlight Enduro Pro. And as a bonus, they're both micro USB rechargeable. So we're gonna talk features, performance, and my overall impressions of how these lights operate. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'll share one attribute that seems to be missing from both models. But don't worry, it only affects like 9% of headlamp users. So let's discover together if these headlamps are gonna fit the bill for you the next time the lights go out. So thanks for hanging with me today, guys. I'm Aaron, this is Gideon's Tactical. And the first thing that really stuck out to me about these 2 lights is their weight. The Bandit is gonna come in at 1.6 ounces. That's with the band, the recharging battery, and the housing in the body. Everything that you see on my head right now is 1.6 ounces, which is crazy lightweight. And its big brother, the Enduro, only slightly doubles that weight at 3.6 ounces total. The second thing that really lit up my interest with these 2 headlamps is their value, particularly coming from a big, well-known, reliable company like Streamlight. Then add to the fact that you can score these through today's sponsor, which is LA Police Gear, means that you can score the Bandit Pro for $25 and some change and the Enduro Pro for under $40 when you use my exclusive 10% off promo code, which is just wild when you think of the Streamlight brand, micro USB rechargeable, and lightweight. And so if either of these models are what you're looking for, or you know that there are other gear items that need to be updated in your system, explore that link in the description box below this video over to LA Police Gear, as well as my promo code provided below. Now let's look at what makes the Bandit design so unique. Streamlight has opted out of providing any sort of pivot housing on the body, which at first I was concerned about, but I discovered very quickly that because the light is a floodlight design and it's angled at a perfect 45 degrees from the band, it means that it is going to provide light from your feet out to a distance, maybe 25 yards on average, and flood that entire zone that you may be working in. Meaning that the majority of tasks that we do with a headlamp, regardless if it's setting up a tent in the dark, building a campfire, working on a vehicle, or going for a run, this is going to illuminate the area that you want to see and do activities in very easily with no need of trying to constantly readjust the pivot. And if you need to see out to maximum distance, all you need to do is just raise your chin ever so slightly to get that level field of light, which means that there's no pivoting action that you need to worry about. But the Bandit Pro has a couple other tricks up its sleeve. Another aspect is the housing body. The body on top and bottom are perfectly flat, designed to have the headlamp rest pointed down at a 45-degree angle to give you a lantern capability or angled work light capability, or to rotate and have it go up at a 45-degree, giving you the ability to take it off your head and use it as a mini work light or lantern when the need arises and you don't want the light strapped to your head. And finally, there's an added ball cap clip where you can actually take the headband off, then click this into the body and then clip it onto the bill of your hat. So if you wear baseball caps a lot and you don't want to necessarily flip it around backwards to use the light, this allows you now to pivot it wherever you need it to be. So they really thought through this entire system, and I have found that over the course of use, I have been gravitating to this for a lot of different tasks that I need a headlamp for lately. So there are 3 settings: high with 180 lumens with a runtime of about 4.5 hours. Then you have low, which is 35 lumens with a runtime of about 21 hours. And then you have emergency flash that will be flashing at 180 lumens. And what I discovered was that low tended to be the setting I put it on for most tasks that I did, regardless if it was taking the dog for a walk or building a campfire in the backyard for the kids or just other work activities. I rarely had to put it on high, and if I did, it was only for a very short period of time, meaning that you're just gonna get a lot of run time out of this, and then when it does finally indicate to you that it is running low, then you're able to plug that thing back in and recharge it, and you're not constantly burning through different batteries. And guys, throughout this video, if you're enjoying this type of content, I would invite you to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon as well so that you can be notified every week when I put up new content, giving you breakdowns on gear and equipment, tips and tricks on how to better stay equipped and prepared for whatever life throws your way. Now, what about its big brother, the Enduro, which definitely is more like the industry standard design of headlamps with that strap. You have up to a 45-degree pivot that is very strong. I really like the strength, and it's just really snappy. You know, it doesn't feel cheap and like clicky, like. And that partially is because of the tough body housing. I actually want to read this to you. The light has tough polycarbonate thermoplastic construction with elastomer overmold and unbreakable polycarbonate lens. Compared to many of the other headlamps that I have in this kind of style, they tend to feel very thin. The plastic feels cheap, not very dense. The density of this seems to be there, even though, again, it's very lightweight and can handle up to a 2-meter drop, same as its little sibling, the Bandit, which means that for most of us being right around 6 foot, maybe slightly taller, it should be able to last an impact falling off of our head by mistake. And they're both gonna have an IPX4 water resistant rating. And unlike the Bandit, which is set in a flood mode with that kind of diffusing light, this one has two different options that you can choose from, spot or flood. Now, when it comes to spot, you have low, medium, and high. Low being 25 lumens with a distance of 32 meters of throw and a runtime of 48 hours, which is really nice. Then you have medium at 90 lumens, and that's gonna offer 60 meters of beam distance, and then a runtime of about 19 hours. And then you have high, which is 200 lumens, and that is gonna be 91 meters of beam distance and a runtime of about 6.25 hours. Then in flood mode, you're gonna have a low setting, which is 15 lumens for about 11 meters of beam distance, running again for 48 hours. Then if you rotate to medium, you have 50 lumens with 18 meters of beam distance, running for about 21 hours. And then if you go to high, about 30 meters of beam distance, a runtime of about 7 hours. So obviously the Enduro is going to give you a lot of different capability, a lot of different variables, so you can really dial in perfectly the type of light you need for different type of tasks. So there are a lot of really excellent attributes to these models depending on what you're looking for in your hands-free illumination. But what is that one attribute that was left on the chopping block that these do not have? Neither one offers any sort of red light capability. Red light can be a benefit when you're wanting to preserve your night vision. It doesn't ruin that. So usually you can use it to read something close up, maybe a map or something like that if you're trying to preserve that night vision. The second is insects can't see red light, so when there is a horde of insects around and you have a red light on, they're not going to be able to see it and won't be attracted to the headlamp. Now, for me personally, I don't know if it's really 9% of users, though it's a nice feature to have if it's offered. It's not a deal breaker by any means when a headlamp or flashlight doesn't have a red light feature. When I was really thinking about how often have I actually activated my red light when I go backpacking, camping, and doing things around my home or property, I can probably count it on one hand throughout the last decade of my life that I've activated a red light with a headlamp. But it may be a vital key feature for you. I look forward to hearing from you guys. What's your thoughts on this Enduro Pro as well as the Bandit Pro headlamps from Streamlight? For me, I've totally fallen in love with that Bandit. It's so lightweight. I don't even know it's on my head, and it's just so functional in the different scenarios that I tend to do when I'm particularly doing stuff around the property. And that Enduro definitely has a lot of key features that make a lot of sense. And so I wanna thank you guys so much for coming over today, checking out this video. I hope it's been fun and entertaining and giving you the information and data that you need to help you better determine for yourself if either of these headlamps are right for you. I do invite you to check out the other video popping up and to subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.